Molly, you're on the combat training field where normally classes being held, but in between classes there are some dummies set up for students that want to take more time to really get some practice in. And even though you're anti-violence, I think that maybe you feel like you needed some more practice. Tell me what this looks like real quick.
I feel like Molly would go at a time that the room is empty because she feels a little self-conscious about it. Is this place open like 24/7?
I think for student like purposes, especially since some of the students are like nocturnal and stuff, it's open 24/7.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Maybe like 4:30 in the morning. I don't know if people would be up at that time. But Molly gets up early every day anyway.
I love that. So it is like 4:30 in the morning. You are there alone. There's just rows of dummies. I'd say if you started it at 4:30, it's about 5 minutes in. Anna, why are you awake this early in the morning?
I'm gonna say that Anna was having a nightmare, and so she decided to go for a jog to clear her head, like around the base. And so she just happened to be passing by the combat station when she saw some pew-pewing and her crewmate in there practicing some moves.
Molly, go ahead and roll an attack for me.
Okay, so I'll do an Unarm Strike. Okay, that's an 18.
Yeah, and you definitely hit it. How much does your Unarmed Strike do?
2.
So, Anna, you look on this scene as Molly swings, and she hits. She gets in a pretty good spot and gets a good hit in, but the mannequin barely moves as the punch lands.
I'm gonna not like sneak up behind her, but like, I don't know, I'm just gonna like walk up to her and be like, "Wow, hey!
Oh my goodness! How long have you been there?"
Not long. I literally was just passing by. I didn't mean to scare you. Sorry, but
no, it's okay.
Killer Punch. Are you so you're just out here practicing?
Yeah. I don't really have much experience with this, and I don't know. After that last class we had, thought maybe I should practice some.
Of course. Yeah, I understand. Let me see. So you have like no combat experience whatsoever?
Pretty much.
Gotcha. So, I noticed you were throwing a punch there. Would you like to use any weapons of any sorts?
Molly pulls out her gun.
I gotcha. All right, that works. You got any? I take you probably don't have any experience with that pea shooter there, do you?
Not at all.
All right. Okay. So go ahead and aim at the target there.
Okay, Molly just points the blaster at the target.
All right. Really sort of square up your hips. Like keep your feet underneath your shoulders and make sure your grip is tight there.
Okay. I think
right.
Molly is like squinting her left eye. I think she'd know how to like at least follow those directions. Oh no, I took notes on how guns worked. Oh no, I have it. Okay, good.
Okay.
Because it's the D20 plus dex.
Yes, D20 plus dex, and then damage is a D6 flat, I believe.
Okay, so now I just pulled the trigger, right?
Yeah, shoot the dang thing.
Okay. That was a nat 1.
So you Molly, and you Anna see this. She lines up her shot, and she's squinting her left eye, and she's really focusing this teeny blaster is pointed directly at the target, and she pulls the trigger, and the kickback is just strong enough that she is actually blown back and falls on her back.
Oh, geez. Hold on. Let me help you up here.
Thank you, dear.
No problem, no problem. All right, so looks like this thing's got a little bit more kick than we thought it did.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Mm-hmm. We
But
can also
what-
try for bladed weapons, or we can try that shooting thing again if you want.
I really wanted to figure this sucker out.
All right, let's do it then. All right, then, let me give you a few more pointers here. One, you may not have to squint your left eye. You may need both your eyes to see what you're shooting at, and that might help keep you focused. And then really make sure you ground yourself. Whenever you're shooting something for the first time, that kickback can be a little surprising. Let's just give it another go. Really ground yourself. Really, you're in control of this thing. It's not in control of you. You got this. Let's shoot that sucker.
Okay. She's kind of just like telling herself, I can do this. I can do this. So that is 12 plus my dex, so 14.
This time it goes remarkably better. You line up your hips, you have both eyes open, you're aiming at your target, and you fire. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's a 5.
It goes through flawlessly. This tiny laser fires out of the gun and goes straight through the target, and you see a burn mark appear on this target, and you have like this moment where maybe you feel proud of yourself.
Molly's has this huge smile on her face, turns back to Anna. Did you see that?
There you go. Nice shot. You hit him.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Up top. Well, down low.
He gives her a high five.
Awesome.
It's about 5 at this point. Like, this has been going on for a little bit, and Joy Simons walks out onto the field and says, "Getting practice, I see. Wonderful." And she walks over to the dummy and kind of brushes off the burn mark and says, "How long have you been out here?"
About half an hour.
And how many successful shots have you gotten off?
At least one.
Joy Simons kind of smiles and laughs to herself. Well, one is better than none. Maybe we need to do more work with the phasers.
I mean, hey, Teach, it only takes one shot to get them.
That is true, and I'm not saying that it's bad to only get one. I'm saying that one is better than none.
For sure.
And she laughs and says, "I'm off to my office. If you need anything, let me know." And she walks back through that door that she came through the last time you were here.
Molly turns to Anna, and just to ask her, "So, what are you doing up so early?"
I couldn't sleep. I was just sort of out going for a jog. And I just had to be passing by.
Okay. How is everything?
Things are good. Classes seem to be going well. I really like my teammates, and I elbow her.
Yeah. Have you been making friends?
Yeah. With us and the crew seem to be getting pretty close, and Tree's pretty cool.
Yeah, Tree's pretty cool.
Tree's kind of the coolest, but yeah, I'm trying, you know. I mean, especially with our crew, you know. I mean, like, we're gonna be spending, Lord only knows how long we're together. So, yeah. I'm trying to make friends.
Anybody that's caught your eye?
Caught my eye.
You know, someone that you want to spend more time with. Not necessarily in our little group.
Oh, like that I'm pursuing romantically?
Yeah, Molly
Or
Molly winks at her.
Are you hitting on me, Miss Molly?
Oh, goodness, no.
Oh,
You're
okay.
you're a little young for me.
Yeah, probably. I am only 80. Though I guess that is sort of skewed in my
But I'm
mind as to what
flattered-
is skewed or not.
Flattered that you'd think so.
Yeah, no, I'm flattered as well.
So, Anna,
Yeah,
is there anyone?
maybe.
Tell me.
All right.
Come on.
It's not anything. I mean, it's just like a crush or whatever. But do you know? Anna looks around, like back and forth, just to make sure there could be no other ears listening to what is going on, or any surprise NPC visits. And she turns back to Molly and says, "Do you know Shelly, Wood Elf?"
What? Remind me what she looks like.
Super pretty.
Okay.
Nice. She's got a really bright smile, long hair, around my height.
You know, I think was she next to you in line at some point?
Yeah.
Okay. Think I do remember.
Yeah, that was her.
Okay.
I don't know. I think she's pretty cool. I don't even know if she really knows I exist yet or anything, but
Well, have you tried talking to her some more?
I think I would implode if I tried.
You know, she might think that's cute.
Anna is like redder than a tomato right now. Like, just even thinking of the notion of talking to this person, just like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm working up to it. You know, like I don't know. Maybe I'll start with like a hey or a howdy in the hall or something.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I'll figure it out probably at some point. Hopefully.
I was really nervous when I met my wife.
Tell me
yeah.
about that.
Oh, well, her name was Shirley, pretty close to Shelley.
Yeah.
But I just remembered seeing her back on Gnome Home. She was something else. I got so shaky anytime I saw her. But one day I just worked up the courage and went over to her, introduced myself. I think I made a fool of myself, but she could tell that I was interested, I think. But just how awkward I was.
Yeah.
But you just gotta be yourself.
Of course.
If she doesn't like you, then she doesn't like you. You can't really do much about that. You just
That's
gotta be
true.
yourself.
I'll never know until I try and all that.
Exactly.
So, how long you been married for?
Oh my goodness, I've lost count. It's been a couple hundred years. She actually passed away 10 years ago, but
I'm so sorry.
it's okay. Got lots of memories.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad you got so many with her.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. I think Anna's gonna like awkwardly go in for a comforting hug.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Come here, you little cutie.
The camera zooms out on what is by far the most endearing and awkward hug to ever be seen. And it cuts to Blue. You said that you wanted to have a scene with Gjin.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, real talk, I've been like real life nervous about this.
Oh no.
Just because I hate confrontation so much that you said Blue wanted to talk to Gjin, and I have thought about it every time I've thought about recording.
Oh no, panic. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, I just hate confrontation in all forms, even fictional, apparently.
Jeez.
Oh man.
Same.
Alright, so yeah, so where is this scene taking place?
If this is like a normal evening, then I imagine Jen is in her room, hanging out, maybe reading. She never really had access to books, so she might be really savoring all those books she can read now.
Yeah, but the library is packed with books of any type of flavor, any type of genre that you could think of.
Okay.
So of course there's like your reference in your historical documents, but you also do have like an immense fiction library. You have just like manuals for different things, just in case. But yeah, any type of book Jin could think of is probably in there.
I feel like she's reading like Space Huckleberry Finn, and she relates to that adorable astronaut scamp.
Oh my gosh.
I think it is just called Space Huck Finn.
Yeah,
Like, it's not Huckleberry. It's just Huck.
Space
like,
Huck
Huck.
Finn. Yeah, and
Space Huck Finn.
it was Space Mark Twain that wrote it. He legally changed his name to make it fit.
Marketing strategy. Call my book Space Huck Finn and rename myself Space Tom. Space Mark Twain.
I think what it was is that like Earth, when they expanded out into space, they were like, oh, everything's gonna, like, they were so used to like I'm gonna say in canon, like Star Wars existed and Star Trek, so they thought they had to name everything with that naming convention, so they just started labeling things as space blank and just went with it, which is how you got such great hits as Space Slaughterhouse 5.
Dear
It's
God.
where humans go to
by
an
Space
alien.
Yeah, by Space Vonnegut, like, which the Tralfamadorians are extremely upset about.
Yeah, that was very racist, actually.
Yeah.
Speciesist.
Okay. But yeah, so Jin, you're in your room.
Alright, Blue comes and knocks on the door of Jen's room.
Jin looks up somewhat startled and opens the door and sees Blue standing out there and kind of just looks at Blue for a second, almost waiting for them to speak before realizing that Blue doesn't speak.
Yes.
Before, remembering that.
Yeah, Blue just silently holds out a cup of coffee. No, like, introduction or anything.
I look at the coffee and I look up at Blue and I say, well, come on in.
Blue walks in the room, makes themselves comfortable wherever. I don't know what dorm room furniture looks like.
It's a lot drier in here than it is in yours, I imagine.
Yeah, they probably, like, get out their little spray bottle, give themselves a little squirt. Though, Jin is a water girl, so maybe it's just she makes the whole atmosphere humid. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Blue gets out their little communicator device. When was the last, the scene at the library?
In relation to this, it was only a few days ago. I'm gonna say like 3 days ago.
So yeah, they just say, I wanted to talk about what happened in the library the other day.
That makes Jin very uncomfortable. I would say she kind of like, once again, just gawks a little bit. She's not good in social situations, and she goes, what did you want to talk about? Specifically about that.
Blue types out another question, and the words pop up. How much do you know about constructions like Rust?
I'm gonna refer to the DM here real quick. Hey, Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
How much would Jin theoretically know? I mean, obviously she knows what the AU units are, but how much would she know about them outside of they were in the war and they did a lot of damage?
I think from the time, because you had a little bit of time where you were looking at the file, as it popped up on that mini monolith in the library, and you remember a few things. You remember that they were designated for like dropping off like mass quantities of them in an area, and then come back a few hours later and the area is wiped out, is basically what they were built for originally. You also know that they were relatively, it was like a cheap to make type thing, because all they had to do was build the frame and pull out the consciousness cube and put it in the next one, and so on and so forth. But that's really all that you know.
Okay. I relay some version of that, probably a little bit nastier than intended, because Jin really doesn't have warm fuzzies about those units.
Yeah, Blue nods, kind of takes it in, and then they pull out their little tablet thing that has like basically a bunch of like just like a readout of like a bunch of code on it, and they show them that, and they like words flash up in the air in front of them that this was a virus that I wrote to basically overload combat functions in the AUs. Sometimes it made them explode, sometimes it made them turn on each other and fight each other rather than destroy what was in front of them.
Was it the you that administered it, or it was just kind of used?
The team they were working as part of created this virus to overload the AU's combat functions. It never got used in actual combat, but they had tested it out on damaged AUs they had managed to salvage, and it was in the final stages of development by the time the war ended. And then they type another message, and it says, "The reason that I was able to repair Rust when I found him was I knew everything about these units, how to, all their weaknesses, how they came together so that my team could take them apart." And then they just kind of wait for Gjin to kind of process.
She soaks that in a little bit. So you know them better than most.
They pause and then kind of consider, and they nod, and then they think a little bit, take a little bit longer creating their new message, and then when it pops up it says, "What I'm trying to say is, whatever you think that Rust did, I was worse. And I was just a kid."
But you were doing it to these things. You weren't doing that to civilians, to people. You were doing it to the monsters they sent to kill.
That wasn't all I did. And they start flashing you images of chemical weapon type things and of nanotechnology that like attacks the nervous system, and what the denizens would have called countermeasures, but were just as war crime-y as some of the oppressor stuff. And then I actually want to make a check to see if I would know because of that, to see if I would know why, would recognize why Gjin is the way she is.
Go ahead and roll we'll say a history check for this.
5 + 7, that's a 12.
A 12?
Mm-hmm.
You know a few things about you've heard of Jin's planet, you've heard of Boone. You know that Boone was a testing site for a project by the oppression that you know that you were on the team for the counter for.
Right, okay. Yeah.
You don't remember which thing was being tested there.
Right.
Because you were on multiple projects, so it could have been a lot of things, but you know that Jin's planet was attacked in a horrible way, is what you know.
Okay. I think now Blue has kind of been just looking at their device this whole time, but now they look up at Gjin and they flash the message. You know what happened on Boone.
I kind of gesture to myself and to say, I am what happened on Boone. That bomb they dropped made me this.
They send out the message. The only reason that the denizens didn't respond with equivalent measures was that the peace accords were signed before we had the chance.
I don't see your point here, Blue.
They pause for a moment. And they type, if you're going to keep coming to school here and not just lose it. They pause again as they keep kind of thinking of what to say. And the other message, you're going to have to figure out that sides don't matter anymore. That maybe they never did. There's a lot more happening here than innocent and guilty. What happened 10 years ago affected all of us.
With that, the camera kind of pans out on this like tense, a little bit awkward situation. You made your star charts the night before. Everything seems to be going perfectly according to plan. So how are you feeling this morning?
Rose is kind of tired because she stayed up late doing the charts, but also just kind of a general feel of frustration, and she doesn't quite understand it.
As you are walking down the hallway to the cafeteria, you notice that Wind is on his way in. Wind, you're super excited for piloting class, right?
Yes, it's like my entire life. I'm so ready.
Yeah,
for that.
you're like ready to get there. So I feel like, like you woke up early, you were going to get breakfast early, all of that. You're ready to go.
Yeah, eating early so I can get to class early.
Right, yeah. Me and all of my high school. I think there's a little bit of a line for breakfast right now, so you're kind of awkwardly standing in line. I think as you're looking around, you possibly notice Rose as she walks into the cafeteria.
Oh, I think I get out of my spot in line and like walk up. Hey, Rose. Good morning.
And she sort of looks startled, like she totally was snapped out of her little daze and was not expecting anyone to speak to her. And she's like looking around for a moment, and she realizes it's Wind properly. Hi.
You mind if I eat with you?
I mean, yes, we just need to get food first. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, she's so awkward. As she doesn't know how to speak to him exactly, but she basically gets in line with Wind and waits.
So, how'd you sleep?
Not much sleep. I'm probably gonna need something to keep me awake today, honestly.
Understandable. Hey, I just gotta say, like, honestly, thank you for the wiping off the acid yesterday. I kind of was raised in a place where kindness isn't in hot supply, so
she kind of smiles a little bit, like you notice it, but it's nothing crazy, and kind of smacks your arm, which you probably weren't expecting. It's okay. It's just, why the heck wouldn't you wipe acid off yourself? It's burning you. It's there, literally hurting you, and you just let it sit. You gotta do something about that. What if we need you, and you end up being too hurt from something like that? You gotta look after yourself sometimes.
I mean, true, I guess I just always grew up like if I could do the scenario, no matter the cost, that was the end justified the means. I always heard, So like, I guess I didn't think about it like that.
Sometimes I find that to be true, but other times I found that if you don't look after yourself, sometimes no one else will. And if you're responsible for anything else, I mean, who am I to say anything? She kind of just shrugs. Just pain is not necessarily important, but if you ignore it for too long, it can become damaging.
That is truer than you know.
And they're just standing in this lunch line, and she's stiff, as like so awkwardly stiff.
As you guys are standing in line, a few people pour in behind you. Don Pondleton walks up just a little bit, and he just looks, and he gets real close, and he says, "Hey, you two, you cool?"
Yeah, no, I got you. We're moving. Okay. Sorry, we're having a moment. It's okay.
Making sure, because sometimes people are just, not wanting to move in line, and I don't like that. So,
It was acid. We were just talking about acid. It's fine.
Oh,
She
this
just-
is interesting. Okay. I'll not tell anyone. Wink.
Wait, so are you going to tell someone? Or like,
No, I'm not. Well, no, I'm not gonna tell. Just move up, and I'm not gonna tell. Just go, move up in the line.
see, because like the wink implies that
But,
you're gonna
no.
do the opposite.
See, no, I say I can't wink every time I try to wink. Look, he tries to wink, and both his eyes keep closing. It's like I can't do it, and so I said.
Gotcha.
And so that's me
gotcha.
saying
Okay.
like we're cool with the wink, but I can't wink. So I said the wink.
So you could have. Okay. We're moving. We're going.
And Rose has already moved before the end of that conversation. She moved up on her own.
Wind gets some waffles this morning and just loads up his plate.
Rose just gets a bit of everything that she can see and sits down.
So like, I know stars are your thing, but like, why? Sorry if that is inappropriate. I don't know.
She doesn't laugh. That was me, just for the record. Just for the record. Okay, Rose has a mouthful of food because she didn't really hesitate. She just shoved something in there, you know. She
Sorry.
holds up a finger 1 second, you know.
Sorry, you can eat. Sorry.
And as she swallows the food, she pauses properly and sort of thinks about it. I don't know if that's necessary. And she just says they're pretty. They're really pretty, you know, stars.
Yeah, very true. Just very understandable. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really taken the time to appreciate them. I think I've always been go, go, go since I've been a kid.
She reaches into her pocket while he's talking, and then kind of you see her face pale a bit. And she looks like she forgot her phone or something, but then she pulls her hand out of her pocket and just sort of... Finally.
You good?
You know, just left something with a blue. But yes, stars. They're nice. It's complicated stars, but there's some safety in them, some consistency, you see. Like, you know, you can navigate using them. Even on Earth. If you looked up at the stars, you'd always know where you were.
I assume that's why you went to like the World Studies Botany course.
I mean, it was the most fitting one. I had no choice about being here, so I figured if I'm gonna be here, I'll do what I want.
What's that about?
I guess I'll tell you. She says again, she's pretty stiff, but you can see she's actively trying to sort of wriggle her shoulders a little, like breathe, and that she's not very comfortable with talking to people. But, well, I guess as much as I can say I had a home, it wasn't really a home. It was me living off the kindness of people, and when they had to choose someone to be sent here, it made sense that it wasn't one of their own, and that it was me.
That's very relatable, Rose. It's very relatable.
Her?
Yeah, I kinda am in the same boat. I was kind of the odd one out growing up always, and I don't know. I've always only had, my two dads, I guess you could call them. They've been the kindest ones to me at the monastery, but other than that, it's just kind of been an outcast. So it kind of made sense for me to come here, and I'm not super complaining. This has been a great experience. We're about to do the piloting class. I am so pumped for that. That is my life. But yeah, still kind of sucks.
I can imagine. It's good that you had some people. I had one lady that was quite nice to me. She'd always make sure they left me some food and some clothes, and she made sure that they didn't come and terrorize my little hut. That sounds so strange, calling it a hut. It was like a cabin. Kind of. I built it. I mean, it was
Okay.
twigs and shit, I guess. But it was comfortable.
I mean, if you built it and it was home, then like, yeah, that's important.
Yeah. There's some freedom. We've not been here long, but there is some freedom in starting over and having no one know who you are. And I've got this assignment, and she kind of starts sounding a bit more excited. I've got this assignment from the teacher, and I get to draw a star chart every single night. But don't tell anyone. I'm only telling you because
Okay, yeah.
And she's whispering. I'm only telling you because I know you won't tell me.
Yeah, no, I won't
It's
tell
not like super secret anyway. It's just it's a me thing. It's just I have an assignment to do and I like it.
Hell yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. I can show you my star chart sometime.
Yeah, please. That sounds amazing. And I feel like, I guess with this little group we in, I'm the pilot and you're the navigator type. So like, we'll probably be very close anyway.
I'll try not to direct you into any asteroids or anything.
I appreciate it, but I trust you.
I have no idea what I'm doing and how to pilot, and we have piloting class, and I'm terrified, absolutely dreading it. And here you are, absolutely over the moon, waiting for it. And it's just kind of funny.
Well, it's like your things is the stars, my things the ships.
Do you have any tips you could give me before we start?
I would say, just breathe, stay calm. Remember that you are in control of the ship. The ship is not in control of you. And have fun.
She nods and goes to shove another enormous amount of food into her mouth.
You hear a creak and steps coming up from behind the two of you, and then you just hear, "Do you guys mind if I sit here?"
Oh. Not at all.
She gestures wildly for him to sit with her mouth full of food.
Wonderful. And then he sits down and says, "We're having a good time." And then the camera zooms out.
What's up, guys? It's Luke from Nat Wonderful, and I'm here with
Caleb from Nat Wonderful.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you're very much enjoying the episode.
Yeah, and we were wondering if you could do us a big time favor and go ahead and go follow us on huge favor and go follow us on Twitter. We are at Nat Wonderful, which is NatWonderful. On Instagram, which is NAT1DERFUL. And then if you want to go ahead and write to us, tell us all about how much you love us, you can write us an email, which is natwonderful@gmail.com, and that is
NAT1DERFUL@gmail.com. We also got new episodes coming out every Wednesday, so be sure to check those out. Those are going to be on all your favorite podcasting sites.
All of them.
Every single one.
Everything.
Stitcher, Apple,
Spotify. I think that's all of them.
Your grandma's computer.
We are on vinyl.
We're on your dad's phone.
Yep.
Only your dad's phone.
Only your dad's. Also, if you want to do us another big favor, leave us a review on Apple. If you use Apple, give us a thumbs up on Spotify. All of that helps us so much. But I can't think of anything else we need to say.
Oh, be sure to use the hashtag Nat Wonderful, just the NATWONDERFUL, whenever you are talking about us. But other than that, yeah, I think just enjoy the rest of the episode.
Enjoy.
Bye.
It is the day after your conversation with Blue. You have had probably a fairly relaxed day up until this point. I don't think anything too crazy has happened. I might be wrong about that, but I don't think anything too crazy has happened. But you know that at 3 o'clock on the dot today, you have your meeting with Charles Lemercier.
Yeah.
After you kind of had a little clap back at him with that, you need to work on your sales pitch line.
Yeah, and I need to work on my stealth is really what that is.
Yeah. Well, you rolled it.
Yeah.
What, a nat 1 versus nat 20? But yes. So, what is Gjin's mental, prep strategy before this meeting?
She had a really solid, I'm going to stick it to him and, give it to him and tell him everything I've been thinking. But that conversation with Blue really just rocked her. So she's really just been ruminating on what Blue said about, sides and letting go. So that's kind of been reverberating through her head. And at this point, she's less mad and ready to fight Charles, and more just kind of worn out by all the very, very heavy thinking. But she still has a plan. As she's walking, Rat crawls down into her pant leg and holds on tight. And she's wearing baggy enough pants that you can't really see Rat.
Right, I figured that. It is about 2:55, and your meeting's at 3. And you are getting closer to the office, and as you get about a few, let's say 15 feet away down the hall from it, you see that his door is wide open for you.
Well, I guess I walk up to that door and obviously knock on the door. She was raised in the streets, not a barn.
So you knock lightly on the door, and Charles looks up, and he's been looking over some papers. And
does he have readers? I just need to know. Does he have reading glasses on?
He has readers. They're on the brim of his nose.
I can see him. Okay, yeah. Good. I'm here.
And he's
now.
He has got a red pen in his hand, and he is grading through these papers and going through them. And there's just, his desk is cluttered, but there is definitely, you can tell there's a system.
Oh yeah, teachers have never changed.
Oh no, even in the future. But he looks up and says, "Gjin, come on in."
I walk in and take a seat and pull my chair up close to his desk.
He sets down his pen, and he looks you dead in the eye and says, "So I think you know why you're here, right?"
"Yes, sir."
"Oh, good. I'll have to sit here and explain it to you then." And he eases back in his chair a little bit, and he says, "So I need to work on my sales pitch, huh?"
She hesitates for a second and gives him another softer, "Yes, sir."
"Right. I agree. All right, don't worry about that, okay? It's all right. You can relax. It's all good. Roll an insight check."
"An insight check? Oh, come on, 8.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see any reason not to trust him on that. You feel like you can relax a little bit.
Okay. Can I do a quick perception check to see if I notice any, cameras in his office?
Yeah, go ahead and give me one. That'd be great.
11.
Yeah, you actually see there is 3 cameras in his office. There's one from behind the desk, and 2 kind of aimed at the far corners away from, behind you, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All of them kind of, focused on the desk. And all of them have a little red light, so you know that they are operating.
Okay, real quick question about the desk then.
Yeah.
Is it one of those kinds of desks that's like, got like, the standard desk where it's like you've got the side things, then you've got like kind of this little wall that hangs down, but it doesn't go completely to the floor. Like you could like stick your foot under it. Is it like that kind of desk?
Yeah. Yeah. And there is room at the bottom of the desk where there's no border there.
Okie dokie. And is it very open on his end? Can I tell that? Like, does it have like drawers and stuff, or is it just kind of more of a table desk?
No, there are definitely drawers on his side. There is a set to his left and to his right.
Cool. That's all of my desk questions for now. I concede the floor.
So he says, so what do I need for my sales pitch, huh? What do I need to tell you?
She thinks, and Blue's words kind of come to her, and she looks him in the eye, and she says, quit trying to convince us the war was worth it. You're not going to get us to believe that. We have all seen the damage and felt the toll. You're not going to convince us it was good. Just try the truth. We don't care whether you think it was justified. We just want to know what happened. Let us decide for ourselves.
He takes a brief pause and then he nods and he says, right, that makes sense. Why would I want to convince you? I mean, we all know war is bad. I would rather not have fought in a war, but I did. And I have no regrets. And he reaches down in one of his drawers and he pulls out like a drink that he had down in there for some reason. And he puts it on the desk and he says, you don't mind, do you?
No, I don't, but real quick, when he slides that door open, Caleb, that drawer, I want to take advantage of the sound of the drawer opening and slide my foot right under the edge of the desk where the cameras can't see the bottom of my pant leg and have Rat scurry out and into a hidden part of the underneath.
Okay, so Rat will have to make like a stealth check.
Okay, how do I do that for Rat?
I think it would just be a straight up D20.
Gotcha.
No plus, no minus. However, because you are taking advantage of him, A, looking away, and B, using the sound of the drawer opening, I will give that to you with advantage. So go ahead and roll 2 D20s and tell me the higher number.
Okay, that's an 18, and that's a 12, so 18.
Yeah, you don't see any difference. Like, he does not act like he's hearing something or feeling anything. Rat slides out and is hidden away.
Okay, and then I kind of do almost like a mic check, where I test Rat's like senses and kind of swap between my hearing and seeing and his, and I don't like show it on my face, but I swap to his senses to see where he is under the desk and see how clearly I can hear everything going on while the next part of this is playing out.
I was not expecting that. As you are switching back and forth between your senses and Rat's, you see that he's kind of crawled up and he's hidden away to where he can kind of see, like, Charles's legs underneath the desk. Roll another D20 for me. And this will be like a perception check.
Gotcha. That's a 15. There are my rolls.
There's the good rolls. Yeah, you see very obviously strapped to his thigh, hidden away, there is a knife. Just there.
Gotcha.
And he says, Gjin, I know that I don't have to convince you war is good. I know this. And he takes a drink and he puts it down. Make a perception check because he puts his drink down.
I'm good at perception. One might even say I have expertise. But that's a 2? Are you kidding? 8. I have 8.
8? You don't notice anything.
Of course I don't.
You do hear the door close behind you. And he says, I'm going to need you to stop trying to disrupt my class on purpose. Understood?
Class was over, sir.
He does like a half smile, like almost half shit-eating grin, honestly. You're still in my classroom, weren't you?
I would say I was walking out the door.
Right. Maybe I need to reframe this a little bit. If you cause trouble in this school, bad things will happen, Gjin. And he is still smiling and staring at you directly in the eye as he just leans in one more time. And you don't notice his hands moving. They're still on top of the desk the entire time as he leans in a little bit and says, "You get it?"
My heart is racing. Jin is very, very, like, thrown off by the sudden change, but she also is a little bit smug because she could smell it on him before he ever did it, you know? Like, she just knew that the man he was presenting wasn't the real him. How much do I want to play with fire here? I wish there was a check to tell me how stupid it would be to sass him back right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a check for that.
Yeah, sass check, a stupid check. Okay, you know what? Fine. Jin kind of matches his grin a little bit and leans forward, and she gives him an "or what?"
Blue, you wake up finding that Rust is nowhere to be found. This isn't new, he's been gone before, but this is the second day in a row. So it's a little concerning to you. What do you do?
I think I will just kind of send out a group message to the squad and just ask them, has anyone seen Rust lately? And then I'm gonna message, just reach out to Rust to see if I can find his consciousness.
You reach out trying to find his consciousness just by messaging. You know him well enough. It's usually an instant thing. But this time for some reason, something's happening. You can't quite get to him.
Okay. Then, then I'm going into action mode. I feel like Blue is usually, pretty calm and level-headed, but then they're also very action-oriented and as soon as something is, something's up, so they're kind of kicking into gear. Yeah, they're going to head over to the IRA computer.
Yeah. So IRA, for the listeners, is short for Information and Reference and Analysis. And it is a computer that basically has everything that happens on campus. It's there. And it is in the library. It is on the first floor towards the back, it's kind of secluded, so.
Okay. Yeah, so they'll go ahead and head over there.
As you enter, you see the same thing that everybody does, the Martha Blackhill Library. You see her portrait as you enter in and gun it straight towards Ira. Tell me what you look up.
So is there a place into the computer that you can kind of type in, interact with the computer?
Yeah, there's a keyboard and mouse and screen set up.
Okay. So they're going to type in query AU982 location and send.
As you hit send, you see this computer brings up multiple files. You see AU982 location, AU982 history, AU982 information. Which one do you click on first?
I'll click on location first.
As you click it and open it, it's almost like the file is deleted as soon as you click it.
Okay. Is there some kind of does the computer have some kind of AI assistant type thing that I can interact directly with?
Yeah, if you just say Ira, it'll pop up, yeah.
Okay. Type Ira or whatever,
Yeah.
I imagine there are also non-verbal commands, keyboard commands to pull that up. And then I type again, current whereabouts, AU982.
You see across the screen, information not found.
Okay. Type in last known location, AU982.
This time you do get a different message. You see registered student name not found in database.
Okay. Then they type, please advise former crewmate missing from school database.
This one, nothing pops up. There's no, like, missing crewmate information. Nothing like that has ever happened. As you kind of go back and forth, because you have, like, that as a separate window, you've now noticed that all the files containing AU-982 are gone.
Okay, they're now typing, please advise, best friend missing.
No response.
Okay, they type in, where is Rust?
No response.
I need to know where he is. He needs me.
No response.
They can't just be gone. They wouldn't leave. They wouldn't leave me. They wouldn't leave without letting me know.
No response. I think we zoom out, Blue frantically typing in an effort to attempt to find their best friend. Martha Blackhill sits behind her desk. She taps slowly, a steady pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rust sits in a chair, alone, maybe even afraid. And still that steady tapping. 1, 2, 3, 4. A cold snap comes over Rust as he suddenly feels piercing from 3 different sides. He feels what seems like his consciousness is leaving his body as you hear Martha just say, "Good boy. Go ahead and get rid of it." And Rust slowly feels his consciousness slip with the steady tapping. 1, 2, 3, 4.